Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another edition of Top 5 Best PC Hardware Deals of the Week. Got some pretty good deals this week, but before I get into the 5 in this list, I do want to mention if you guys have a Micro Center near you, there is a great deal. It's pickup in store only. It's a great deal on a pre-built computer. I know pre-builts aren't the most popular thing in the world, but considering how expensive GPUs are, they really aren't a bad option. It's the PowerSpec G314. It includes an Intel Core i5-7600K. It includes an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070, 16GB of RAM, a 480GB solid-state drive, so it's loaded, and it's $1,080, which is a pretty good deal for all that stuff. An i5, a 1070, 480GB SSD, 16GB of RAM. You're gonna get a copy of Windows 10, so if you have a Micro Center near you, definitely check that out. I'll leave a link to that down below in the description box for those of you that are fortunate enough to have a Micro Center around you. But with that out of the way, let's get right into this with the top 5 best PC hardware deals of the week. As always, I like to start off with some storage. Number 5 is the Seagate BarraCuda 2TB hard drive. This is 6GB per second, and it's already discounted on Newegg for $67, but there's an additional promo code you can slap on to take this down to just $60 for a 2TB drive. Wow, that is a great deal. Now, this is a Seagate drive, and I've used a lot of Seagate drives, and I've never had too many problems with them. I think over the last 4 or 5 years, I've had one fail on me, and that was from using like 10 or 15 of them in different rigs. So it's really good. The only thing is that this hard drive deal is ending in 12 hours. So if you're watching this video, it's probably going to end in like 10 hours. So definitely jump on this as soon as you can if you are interested for a 2TB drive. And I've been a big advocate for recommending people to get larger than 1TB hard drives because nowadays with how big game file sizes are, if you're doing other things like downloading movies and recording your gameplay, 1TB just becomes very limiting. So getting a 2TB drive for this cheap is definitely well worth it. Moving on to number 4, we've got a power supply. The CORSAIR CX450 450 watt 80 plus bronze certified power supply is down to $40. Newegg typically lists this at $50. $40 is a good price, but there's also a $20 mail-in rebate, knocking it down to just $20, which is an insane deal for a CX450. This is about the lowest you're gonna get for a high quality power supply. Now this is 450 watts, but 450 watts these days, you'd be surprised what that can power. It can power some higher end stuff. Obviously, I would get a CX450 if you're looking to game with something like a 1050 Ti. That's a pretty good pairing, but you can go a little bit higher than that if you want. It's just that you're picking up a $20 power supply that's probably for a pretty budget-oriented build. So a 1050 Ti is something that'll fit really nicely with this power supply. Also a great PSU to pick up if you have a pre-built computer trying to turn that into a gaming rig. Usually you'll need to pick up a power supply. Well, in that case, picking up a CX450 or a 1050 Ti or something of that level will turn a pre-built computer into gaming range. So $20 after the mail-in rebate is excellent. Even at $40, it's not a bad price, but obviously, when you can shave off half the price of a power supply, that's pretty freaking good. Moving on to number 3, we've got a monitor, the AOC 23-inch 1080p monitor. It's down to $100, which is a great price. If you can get a 23-inch 1080p monitor for $100 or less, that is an excellent deal. This one's got a 5 millisecond response time. As far as connections go, it's only got VGA and DVI. DVI is fine. No HDMI on here, which is kind of a bummer, but still, for a budget end monitor, if you're just looking to pick up a monitor on the cheap side, this will definitely do the trick. Like I said, whenever you see a 23-inch 1080p monitor, $100 or less, that's a good deal. Moving on to number 2, we've got the CORSAIR Vengeance LPX 8GB, 2 4GB sticks running at DDR4 2133. List price is $76, but there is a promo code that'll knock off a little bit more, actually take this RAM down to $65, just under $65, and that's a pretty good price for 8GB of RAM. RAM has been relatively expensive these days, so this is definitely not a bad price. And yeah, not much more to say on that. It's 8GB of RAM. Definitely can still get by gaming. I know 16GB is starting to become more of a standard for a lot of builds, but 8GB is still pretty good. Finally, number 1, I wanted to throw a GPU on this list. Not the best deal in the world, but the ZOTAC GeForce GTX 1060 6GB model is available for $280, and it comes with a free copy of Rocket League. No, this isn't an excellent price, but 6GB 1060s are pretty hard to find. The thing with the 6GB 1060s is that they'll come in stock and then they'll come out of stock really quickly. So if you stay patient, you can get a better deal on a 1060. This particular GPU, I think a few days ago, was like $250, and it included the free copy of Rocket League. So that's a really good deal given how the GPU market is right now. $280 is a little bit on the expensive side, but right now picking up a GPU, you do have to, spend a little bit more if you want a GPU at this level. Good thing is the price is offset a little bit by the free copy of Rocket League, which is still like a $20 game. I think on sale. The cheapest you can get is like 13 bucks. So yeah, that's a very nice inclusion. And as far as the 1060 itself, it's a great 1080p video card. You can definitely push some 1440p gaming on it as well, but 1080p is like the real sweet spot for this GPU. You're going to be running a lot of games, the highest end games at really high settings and getting really high frame rates. I don't like to put a numerical value on it because obviously, as I've said many times, there are always anomalies in PC gaming. You know, if you're playing DayZ or Ark Survival Evolved, even with a 1060, you're going to struggle a little bit sometimes. But that's going to wrap up this video, guys. As always, thanks for watching. If you have a request for a future video, you can leave it in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.